What if I told you that Solana stands a pretty good chance of becoming 10% of the overall market cap of the cryptocurrency space? You would certainly be interested. How about if I told you that it's about to see an epic run versus Ethereum, Bitcoin, and of course, the US dollar? In fact, we have previously given a $2,000 plus price prediction for Solana, which we're going to be revisiting all of that in this video. Solana, whether you like this blockchain or not, has 100% been institutionally chosen. In fact, the reason Solana has outperformed many of the altcoins out there is solely down to its institutional involvement. We're going to be showing you all that in this video. We are going to be highlighting a recent article that was actually published by The Block, and they're talking about the funding. So, crypto funds and how they're essentially betting big on Solana. Now, we know, according to CoinShares' digital fund flow, that actually Solana, up until 3 weeks ago, saw more inflows year to date through these products than Ethereum ones, including GETH, which was Grayscale's Ethereum product. This is absolutely why we think Solana is institutionally chosen and why we think it's going to do exceptionally well. And then once we've covered the sort of fundamental flow side of things, we're going to be diving into the charts. We're going to be looking at Sol USD. We're going to be looking at Sol BTC, Sol ETH, and of course Sol dominance, which could see us move towards a 10% Solana market cap. And one reason people say Solana won't do as well as others is because it's already done a lot. But that doesn't mean it doesn't go on a kind of breakout NVIDIA style journey to more of a degree, because it's obviously a lot of a smaller projects. We do think there's going to be things that outperform Solana, and hopefully I hold some of them in my portfolio that you guys will unlock when you become a Patreon. But I do think that Solana is going to do exceptionally well, and I actually do have a position in Solana, despite not being such a fan of the blockchain, and it's for reasons just like this. So Solana confirms another security hurdle amid a history of outages. So we've seen Solana literally have to shut down and reboot on multiple occasions. In fact, it's a common occurrence. And of course, Firedancer aims, or is supposedly going to fix many of this. I'll believe it when I see it. I am not such a fan of the Solana blockchain as I am others out there. But it's not about what I think. It's not about what I want. It's about ultimately what the money wants. And the money, follow the money, is telling us right now that Solana is going to do exceptionally well. In fact, up until 3 weeks ago, we saw Solana have the biggest inflows year to date in regards to institutional products in the form of digital asset funds over the likes of ETH. So the outlook for Ethereum seems to have turned a corner, seeing a further 45 million of inflows last week, overtaking Solana for the altcoins within the most inflows year to date. This was only a couple of weeks ago. So Solana, we know, is heavily accumulated by institutions in regards to the kind of crypto products that are out there relating to Solana. This was an exceptionally interesting article from The Block. Big shout out to them for this. The funding crypto liquid funds bet big on Solana. And it goes on to say, interestingly, despite the market's recent turbulence, several crypto funds continue to focus on fundamentals with a strong bullish stance on Solana and the DeFi sector. It goes on to say, at Syncrasy Capital, co-founder Ryan Watkins echoed this sentiment, highlighting Solana's undervaluation compared to Ethereum. He told me Solana now rivals Ethereum across most meaningful metrics, yet trades at a fifth of the valuation. Watkins also expressed optimism about the Solana's ecosystem, saying it is similarly mispriced as compared to Ethereum's ecosystem, with a handful of protocols generating 10 million to 50 million in earnings, growing 100 to thousands of percent year on year, trading at S&P multiples, a fraction of their peers on Ethereum. Actually, if you look at like the Phantom wallet, for example, that is, in regards to finance, one of the most downloaded apps out there. So leave your biases at the door, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to investing, you want to follow the money. And let me tell you, the money is betting big on Solana. And actually, this is why Solana, again, has done as well as it has. If you look at ETH, BTC, and Sol, they're all elevated in regards to the general altcoin market. If you look at Eric Balanchunas did a great video earlier where he spoke about if it wasn't for institutional interest, Bitcoin would be at 20, 30K. We agree with this. I did a video just for my patrons where I looked at where Bitcoin is typically around the halvenings, which is the kind of period we've just gone through. And it typically is nowhere near new all-time highs. The anomaly here in this cycle is that Bitcoin put in a high pre-halvening. And ultimately that has everything to do with institutions that largely aren't betting on altcoins just yet. I think they will do. Some are more than others. But one altcoin they have been betting on is indeed Solana. So he goes on to say he's also pointed out DeFi. Similarly, Multicoin Capital's managing partner, Kyle Samani, reaffirmed the firm's commitment to Solana while also expressing increased confidence in decentralized physical and virtual infrastructure networks, projects like DPIN and DVINs, alongside stablecoins. So we're also massive in the DPIN sector. We think it's going to be the big thing. I think you've got Helium and, of course, Render, two big ones on Sol. And then we've got Maven 11's portfolio manager, Ruben van den Eschoff, pointed to global interest rates easing cycles as a catalyst for stablecoin and DeFi grows. He told me that more rate cuts expected. The stablecoin market is likely to grow further. He goes on to talk about DeFi here. You've got DeFinance also highlighting Solana's DeFi ecosystem. You've got Pantera Capital's portfolio manager, Cosmo Jiang, emphasizes the firm's continued focus on fundamentals, particularly in block space, DeFi, DePIN, and AI. Pantera's investments have been in Solana, Toncoin, HiveMapper, GeoNet, Near, BitTensor, and so on. And then you've got a number of others out there. So not only do we know that Solana has seen great institutional inflows, according to CoinShares reports, the price very much reflects that. We have news in regards to the block. They actually caught up with some of the funds that are currently in the cryptocurrency space. They all have a favoritism towards Solana. If you look at certainly what's been a major driver of Bitcoin's price, being the ETFs, we now have an Ethereum ETF. We already see filings for a Sol ETF, and we always said Sol ETF was coming first. It's very much favorited. And also, that's all great news. The price largely has affirmed all of this. So this is our Solana price prediction that we've given to you guys previously. We gave this pre-break. It's certainly making its way up there. It's a very positive sign in regards to the current level that you're holding as support happens to be the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders that ultimately is likely going to take you to that $2,083 mark, which on today's prices, so I started a significant Sol position recently, is a 13x. And the thing I think with Solana is the institutions are through the door first. So I don't want to use the word it's a safe bet at all in crypto, because understand that crypto is very risky and you can lose all of your money if you decide to play in this market. But we've seen larger money perhaps show their favoritism towards it and thus give us a little bit more confidence in regards to it. So again, not a fan of the chain personally. It's not about what I want. It's not about what I think. It's about what the money wants. And when you follow the money, it very much points towards Solana. And a lot of people say, oh, well, it's done absolutely spectacularly. This means it can't continue onwards. But may I remind people of NVIDIA, which is all the way up here. You know, and essentially Solana is... And we did. I think we actually had price predictions on NVIDIA. Yeah, we did. In much the same way we're looking at price predictions. So I haven't drawn this for Solana. So very similar, not to kind of over-exaggerate what I think is coming for Sol, but also when you look at Sol BTC, you are looking at Solana taking market share from Bitcoin, again setting up a similar pattern. We have a target at the 0.017 mark. This is nearly a 600% increase against BTC, which we also think is on the cusp of its next leg up. Sol ETH is now on the cusp of breaking out. You know, we do have targets higher for this. What is this in terms of multiples? It's a 200% multiple against Ethereum. And then the big one, which is really interesting to me, is the Sol dominance chart. So Sol's dominance is now at all-time highs and potentially is currently at 3%, may want to run all the way to 10%. Now, we know Sol's likely going to move up against the US dollar. It's likely going to gain ground against Bitcoin and Ethereum. And, of course, we've got the dominance chart that points in the same direction. And to round and sort of capitulate that all together, we know that institutions are betting big on Solana. And we've got that confirmation from a number of different places, not only the individual funds, hearing from the Blocks report, but also in regards to the collective that is CoinShares' digital asset flows. So it just got to that point. I think I was very sort of annoyed that I capitulated that $17 long on Solana. It is what it is. However, you know, if you've got the players that you do betting on it that have largely moved the markets thus far, what does that mean is to come? I think it's going to do very well. I do think you're going to have altcoins that outperform. I'm sure we own some of them. However, Solana for me is kind of almost becoming a bit of a staple of this market. And certainly technically when you take a look at it, it looks very bullish, not just against the US dollar chart in regards to dominance, in regards to the ETH pair, and in regards to the Bitcoin pair. So when it walketh, talketh, and quacketh like a duck, ladies and gentlemen, it's a duck. It's entirely up to you guys what you choose to do with your own money. We're not a financial advisor here. We're just giving you our take on Solana in regards to where we think it's going to go against multiple different charts and why it's going to get there. That's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. If you enjoyed the content, like is appreciated. So as a comment, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next.